welcome to the Scale Milling Cafe, and welcome to the last sort of weekly update that I'm going to be able to do for a while, because tomorrow night I'm flying home to the UK for 5 weeks. It's Ramadan, it's leave, and I get to go home, which is great. It also means that I'm going to have a complete break from the bench. So in channel news then, I have already uploaded the Tamiya F14 video. So that is ready to go. It's all in the can. I think it's 4 episodes, the introduction, the cockpit, the construction and the painting and the weathering. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes actually, because it's a fabulous model. It's one of the best ones on the market that money can buy, and I was very excited to build it. And the weathering job I'm really proud of. So I'm really hoping, especially for that final episode, episode 4, I'm really looking forward to seeing that on the big screen. Episode 2 is a good one as well, because I used the Red Fox Studios acrylic resin 3D printed stuff, and that stuff is amazing. Knocks my socks off. Resin seats as well, yeah, it was a great fun project, and yeah, I hope you enjoy that series over the next few weeks. The current series that's going on YouTube is the buddy build of the Edward Spitfires with good mate of mine, Rick Lawler, from his propaganda channel. Now, both our projects are finished. My final part goes out this Sunday, and that is the base. It's a very simple base using dirt from my desert, trademark, and yeah, it's a very simple base, and it was a lot of fun and fairly quick. In there as well is a few snapshots of Rick's finished project. He's done a crashed Spitfire on the beach, and it's absolutely stunning. So you'll really have to go and check his final part out, which is going out on Tuesday. There'll be a little plot spoiler on mine if you want to check his finished model out. So that's what's going on the channel. What I will do is I've got a big pile of stuff waiting for me at home. So I will be doing another unboxing video. Some really cool stuff that's come in, I'm itching to get my hands on. One of which is the Edward photo etch set for the trumpeter Fulmer, which means that is going to be the first project when I get back. What I need to edit as well, but I'm not going to be able to do the narration until I get back, it's going to take me a little while to edit, is I've finished the MiG-17, and here it is. So this is the, you can hear some rattling around. That is a load of lead. It ended up being a tail sitter. So this is the ammo of Mig Jimenez MiG-17, painted with their new Atom acrylic paints, and they're really nice actually. They spray beautifully, and you can do all the standard sort of feathering techniques, freehand spray. This is freehand camo, no masks, no sausages, nothing like that. All freehand, which you can do with this stuff. So with the Atom paint, it kind of behaves, sprays a little bit like lacquers. Now it is, as I said, it is acrylic, so it does take a little while to fully cure, minimum of 24 hours. It does stay soft for a little while, and it's also a little bit more fragile when you're going to use oils and the like. So it was a bit of an experiment with this. I would, if I was going to do this again, I probably wouldn't use an oil wash. I did use a lacquer varnish, a clear varnish over the top, but that didn't save it, and I did damage the paint in a few areas, but I was quite rough with it. I was scrubbing, trying to get the wash off, because it did kind of soak in a little bit. So I learnt a lot, but it's a really nice paint, and if you are an acrylic paint user, I would highly recommend it. It's not going to replace my lacquers. I'm a huge fan of Mr. Paint, but I do have more stuff coming. The paint I got was prototype paint. It's probably identical to the finished thing, but yeah, I've got some more colours coming, some more of the basic colours as well, black, white, that kind of thing. But done in Syrian markings, kit decals, but they are cartograph, so quality assured. Straight from the box, apart from I tried to drill out the cannon barrels and I slipped. So I managed to drill out the big cannon, which I think is 30mm, but the smaller one's actually replaced with a bit of brass tube. Other than that, out of the box, really nice. Oh, the other thing was the top part of the ejection seat I ended up replacing because it pinged out the tweezers, and yeah, and that's probably circling the rings of, or you know, in the rings of Saturn as we speak. But yeah, so I had to replace that. Other than that, straight from the box, really, really nice kit. I managed to refrain from riveting as well. But yeah, lovely kit, really nice paint. What I'm going to do with this is, because it's a kind of a review, part review of the kit, part review of the paint, I'm not going to do my traditional series. It might be just a single parter. I'll have to see when I edit it. I might edit sort of a bit of a separate one for the kit and then maybe one for the paint. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. So really busy time for the channel, really busy time for me trying to get that done before I fly out tomorrow. And yeah, I'm just looking at the stash up there. Some really exciting things. Now I've got a few kits coming in. I'm going to try and refrain from bringing them with me. There is one that I might get and bring back for review, but I'm not going to announce that yet because just in case I don't bring it back. So we'll have to see. But next up will be the Trumpeter Fulmer. Really looking forward to that. And then it's going to be a conversion, and it's probably going to be the 32nd scale Spitfire Mark 14, which I'm itching to get started. Right, that's the channel. What else do I need to talk about then? This time I'm trying to do it without any notes, which is perilous, I know. In the news, there's only one news item, and that is Jetmads have announced a 1/32 scale F-84F. It's expensive. It's just under $300, but it's a fabulous aeroplane and will really command presence on the table or any display cabinet, especially a natural metal one. It's coming with some nuclear bombs as well, if you want to do that. And one of the reasons why it's so expensive is it's limited to 500 pressings, and that's it. They're also doing now what was it? Was it a Banshee? It's either it's one of those sorts of things. Banshee, maybe a Phantom. One of those sorts of 1950s first gen jets they're doing as well. Sorry, I forgot that. Maybe if I can look it up, I'll stick a caption in. But yeah, that's the only other news that sort of caught my eye. There we go. Right, questions. Now, I did have, where's my phone gone? Here it is. Now, I did have some questions, and I've been kind of a bit absent-minded. So, let me just, sorry, bear with. It's down here. Right, yes, here we go. Right, glasses time. Sorry about this, everybody. Right. Okay, so, question for the blogs. What's my favourite paint brand for standard colours, Royal Navy, RAF, Luftwaffe, US Navy, USAF, IGN? Same question for modern jet aircraft and high-vis US Navy schemes. What paint would you use if painting a Red Arrow? What's your go-to if you need to represent chrome like the Intake ring on a Lightning? English electric Lightning, that is. Take your pick if you can't be asked. Answering everything won't be offended. Right, that's from Kitbuster. Right, so let's whiz through these then. And quite apt because clearly I've just finished painting the MiG-17 on a paint test. Right, Royal Navy colours. If you mean World War II Royal Navy colours, i.e. the extra dark sea grey, dark slate grey, sky or sky grey, then MRP or GSI Krios. Most people call that guns. RAF, the same. Luftwaffe, the same. US Navy, the same. USAF, fighter, blah. Essentially, my favourite paint brands for all of these is either MRP in the first case, or I'll use GSI Krios, and that is it. I prefer the GSI Krios over Tamiya. A, because of their range is more specific, and it's more sort of shiny, not glossy, but it's more shiny, so it takes a gloss varnish easier. MRP for just ease of use, and I think it's beautiful paint. It atomizes amazingly. It's obviously pre-mixed, and down it goes. If I was going to do a red arrow, I would use MRP, the Russian/Soviet FOD cover red. It's got a little bit of an orange tinge to it. It's definitely red, don't get me wrong, but it matches really, really nicely that red arrow red. So I definitely use that one. Chrome on the Lightning, I'd use Ammo A-Stand or Alclad, if you've still got some of the Alclad. Definitely either the chrome or something like the polished aluminium. I'll probably go polished aluminium, just more for that scale effect. There we go. So pretty in-depth question, but definitely MRP is my favourite paint. GSI Krios for guns, a close second. Right, Word and B asks, very informative, thank you Jamie. One question please. What would the smallest text of the cutter is capable of? So this is in reference to the how-to video I did on making your own masks, and I have a portrait silhouette. Is it portrait silhouette 3 or silhouette portrait 3? I think it's portrait silhouette 3. One of the two. The smallest things that I can cut are 1/48 scale serial numbers for World War II British aeroplanes. That's about the smallest. Anything smaller and it starts kind of lifting up the mask and it starts struggling a bit. So that's that one. Right, Ronald Byrne asks, am I running the programs on Mac or PC? Mac, again, same video. I have a MacBook Air, it's only a cheap one. What knife do I use? There's a Swan Morton in my book. Nice Spitfire. Sorry, Seafire. Wash my mouth out. That's from Mr. J. That was in reference to the Seafire 15. My kits from the cabinet favourite models. It's just Swan Morton. I buy the blades in bulk. You can get packs of 100, and I just slip them in and out. And then the old blades I'll use for applying glue and things like that. But yeah, Swan Morton. NJ Mayhew. Interested in the durability of these, especially the High Shine ones. Original Alclad was notoriously poor and would not tolerate masking. Your thoughts? So this is a question about the A-Stand paints. It is essentially Alclad. I think they may have improved the formula slightly with a few of the colours. Thing with Alclad is I always prime with Alclad. Normally Mr. Surfacer, because that is my go-to primer. That will help it stick better for sure. I also detack any masking tape. I just run it normally on my forehead or my back of my hand, and I'll detack it. Or you can use the Ammo's purple stuff, which is low tack. That's really good stuff actually. And I've not actually had a problem with Alclad. I can't think of ever having a problem with Alclad lifting with tape. Maybe I have, but yeah, I can't remember, if I'm honest. I find it pretty durable stuff. The higher shine ones, chrome, polished aluminium, things like that, I kind of tend to shy away from anyway, like I say, because of scale effect. I think it's a little bit too shiny. Andrew Gilbert asks, I keep forgetting to ask, where did you get those micro brushes that you used to apply the accelerator? I think you may have mentioned it in a previous video, but can't figure out which one. Many thanks, Andy. Right, Andy. Those, all I did is I typed into Amazon and typed in micro brushes, and up they came. And I think they're designed for putting on, ladies use them to put on the glue for eyelashes or something, maybe. Yeah, so I use those. I use them to clean up my airbrush with, and I just find them really handy. They're dirt cheap, buy them in bulk, really good stuff. Yeah, Amazon. Might be the last one. Right, is it imperative to use the accelerator? So this is from Adrian Kennedy. I'm assuming, Adrian, you're talking about when gluing seams together. I use an accelerator for speed. You don't have to use it. The downside of using accelerator is the chemical reaction can cause bubbles and tiny little bubbles that you will see if you're not careful. But if you're gluing a seam together, you don't need to use it if you're going to hold it. Now the black rubberized stuff, the slow dry setting blah from Ammo that I use, the one I'm actually using is quite old and it's lost quite a bit of its stick. I'm actually going to throw that one away, and I've got some in the fridge. And my plan is when I go over to that stuff, is when I've finished, I'm going to try and remember to stick it back in the fridge just to prolong its life. But it has lost a lot of that initial grab, which is another reason for using the accelerator. But the main one is so I can get on and sand it straight away. You don't need to use it, but you've just got to be careful to avoid it moving as it sets, so you don't get any steps, anything like that. Okay, I think we're there. I'm just going to have a quick look at my screenshots, just in case I haven't missed any more. Oh, there is one here. Ronald again. The black super glue looks to be an amazing seam filler. I'd be tempted to use it on all seams on the model. Is there a reason you don't? Well, Ronald, I think for things like wings, where they're really long and really thin, just trying to make sure it sticks and hold it down if using the accelerator, I kind of struggle with number of hands. So I suppose you could put the accelerator brush thing in your mouth and touch it, but holding that long seam down is a little bit awkward. You could tape it, but then it's got very low surface tension, that black super glue, and it will run and wick. So you do have to be quite careful. I just find with the fuselage on the models that I make, the scale I use, it's small enough that I can hold it, accelerate, hold it, accelerate. And it kind of works on a fuselage, I think, because of the shape. And I'll tend to do maybe the bit in front of the cockpit first, let that go off, make sure that's fully dry. Then I'll do the rear fuselage on the top, maybe the tail. Then I'll do the rear fuselage underneath, and I'll kind of do it in sections like that. A wing, I think, might be a little bit tricky to do that, although I do want to try it, and maybe I'll try it on the Fulmer. We shall see. There we go. That's all the questions. That's all for this week. Stay tuned, coming Sunday for the final part of the Spitfire build. They're actually packed up in the boxes here, ready to pack, and I'm going to pack tomorrow probably. Won't take me long. And when I get back, I hopefully should have edited the MiG-17 video, and you can see me using that amazing new paint, the Atom paint from Ammo. As I said, if you're an acrylic paint user, this stuff is really, really good. But I prefer lacquers, and I'm probably going to stick with my lacquers. But it really does have its uses, and it brushes really nicely as well. There we are. I'll leave it on there. The next time you'll see me is back at home, back in the man cave for an unboxing video. Might be a long one. So I might split it into two. Yeah, the missus is quite grumpy with me actually about all that kind of stuff. But it's quite handy doing YouTube and magazines, things like that, because review samples, basically. That's a good reason, isn't it? Right, there we are. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the UK. Cheers, bye-bye.